Hello, denizens of the internet. This is Tristan from BFZ Gaming. I'm not joined by my normal, lovely, heterosexual life partner, Adrian, but instead with our very own Trent. He's joining us for his first excursion onto Quickies. You want to say hello to the mic, Trent?
Hello.
Okay, that was him. He's brimming full of confidence. He's ready for his premiere into the Quickie world. Trenton, Battle For Zendikar dropped 1 week ago. Today, how has it affected you personally?
Oh, boy.
Relate your tales of woe.
Well, being considered the Frankenstein of deck building.
You do build decks, yes.
I have had a little bit of trouble with this set. It's added a lot of different things, different elements between just...
Deck-wise, or just like with all the new mechanics and
the
such?
new mechanics, the new types of decks. There's a lot to try and work with, especially, I think one of the biggest problems is ease of access to lands and mana with the fetches and the new Tango Land, Dual Land, Check Land, Charm Land, whatever the hell they're called. I call them Battle Lands. Let's call them Battle Lands, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I'm going to set this straight right here. Tango Lands for the poor man's shock. Battle Lands for the creatures that actually battle. For the lands that turn into creatures.
Those are called man lands. Those actually have a name already.
But they battle, so why not call them Battle Lands?
Because they're already man lands. Anyway.
Okay, Battle Man Lands. So anyway, your ease of access to mana is something that you're having difficulty with?
Yes, because it allows me, well, it doesn't allow me, it prohibits me from just trying to stick with, 1 to 2 colors. I say like, okay, I want to build a mono deck. Oh, but wait, this card is really good. So I need, 2 colors. Oh, but wait, I can splash this color now. Oh, now I can splash a 4th color. Shit, now I'm playing 5 colors.
It literally just 5-color good stuff.
Literally just goes from like, all right, I'm gonna build a monocolor ally deck to, and I'm building 5-color mono allies.
Sweet, why not? Now, have you been seeing other? I wasn't able to make it out to the first FNM, but I knew you were. Have you been seeing other decks have this kind of consistency with lots of color? Are you seeing, just 2 and 3 colors like from the cons block, or?
I think a lot of people are still afraid to venture out into the new cards, until, we obviously had...
Until the Pro Tour happens, we can start net decking?
Yeah, well, no comment there. But yeah, we're still waiting for the Pro Tour. We already had Star City Games open.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of new things there. But as far as the first FNM was concerned, we really didn't
see a lot of change.
Didn't really see a lot of change. There were still, the old decks, but, splashing a couple of new cards. I know I saw a lot of Obnixilis and Gideon being played in
the
some
game changers that are really easy to identify.
Exactly. Those have been some good ones. And there's been, 1 or 2 other. I, of course, went full Baru and built a Naya Landfall life gain deck with Felidar. Felidar Sovereign is the win con. And
you were telling me about that. Now you did get the win con with the Felidar once, or something?
Once.
That must have felt fantastic for your opponent.
It was pretty entertaining because I was stuck on 5 lands and I just couldn't get that 6th land to drop Felidar, and I was at like 80 life, and I just kept gaining life every single turn, and my opponent just at one point was just like, why are you gaining so much life? I don't understand this deck.
Poor baby.
And finally I got that 6th land, I drop it and tapped out and
played
but
80
Felidar.
Life on 5 land, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it was an interesting build, that's for sure.
So going back to game-changing mechanics now, the new Scry ability, if you're not familiar, Wizards have the mulligan rule has now dictated if you take a mulligan, if you decide that you can keep your hand after you mulligan, you can scry at just once, no matter how many times you end up mulliganing down to. You can scry the first card of your library. Has that had a positive change for you in your?
I've had a couple of chances to use the rule, and it's actually it's pretty convenient. It allows you to keep hands that you would normally be really skeptical, like if you've got 2, if you keep if you mull to 6 and you've got 2 lands and a couple of 3 drops, it allows you to rather than just saying, oh, hopefully I'll draw into that 3rd land, you can keep that hand, you can look at the top card, if it's a land you've got it, or you can just ship it to the bottom, and that's 1 less card you have to worry about not being a land. So that's good. I can see it actually being pretty advantageous in other formats.
Oh, in Limited, I have to say it's fantastic, because if I'm playing with a very 40-card deck, it's tight, and I'm just looking at my hand like, there's no way I can keep this, go down to 6, mulligan. It tends to work out better for me more so, rather than it's just, a new thing that I couldn't be bothered with not triggering, if you can understand.
And I wasn't just talking about limited, but also like modern. You've got these Grixis Delvers and these blue-red Delver decks. They're gonna, they'll draw their 7. They won't even look at it. They'll immediately mull to 6 if they're on the play, so that they can go look at the top card. Oh, it's an instant or sorcery. Turn 1. What's his name?
Jace?
No. Delver of Secrets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you immediately just keep a 6 that's got a Delver of Secrets and a land, and you just look at the top card. If it's an instant or sorcery, you go, cool, turn 1 Delver, pass.
You just start winning, yeah.
Next turn, flip on turn 2.
Fantastic. But I mean, do you like it? I like it. I think it's definitely adds a little bit of fun, a bit more fairness to if you do have to mull down to 6 or 5 or 4, God forbid.
It keeps people from having to mull too far.
Right.
And it keeps the game, it takes out a little bit of that variance, but I definitely think that it can be abused.
Oh, definitely. If you're just trying to make them go down to 0 and you're playing that long game, just go down to 6, play it safe.
Sure.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Battle for Zendikar. We talked about this previously. Expeditions. You have pulled 3 expeditions.
I did.
And they weren't even Tangoland expeditions. They were
Battleland expeditions. Sure. Exactly.
Expeditions.
No, I pulled 3 out of my case. Yeah. I got the Scalding Tarn, the Steam Vents, and the Misty Rainforest.
Yeah, so they're all beautiful. Do you think that they are? I mean, obviously, I don't see the Zendikar Tangolands staying very high, but do you think the other ones are going to retain their value? Because we've got Tarns at 6 and
no, it's gone down.
It's gone down. Well, it was at 6.
It was opening at 6, and now I believe it's at 280. But that's just because right now, with supply and demand, we're seeing a lot of them open because
people are just cracking packs.
This is the number 1 open set of Magic.
I mean, it's been the number 1 open set for the past 5 sets. But this will probably be a record breaker for a while.
So anyway, because of not only the return of full art lands, but the expedition lands as well, I'm going to hold on to mine. People are saying, oh, you need to sell them while they're high, they're going to tank. Yes, they're going to tank.
Right.
Because there's going to become a point where there's going to be enough opened where, supply is going to meet demand.
Right.
And
I'll feel fine paying $100 for a full art Verdant Catacombs, but
that one won't go down that far. I think they've pretty much bottomed out at this point. They're probably, the fetches are going to stay at around, 200 to 250. Mm-hmm. The shocks will probably stay at, 100 to 180, right. And then the Tango lands will probably be about 50 to 60. But once they go out of print,
right.
Once they stop printing Battle for Zendikar is when we'll see them start to slowly creep back up. So I'm holding on to mine for the long-term investment that, 10 years from now, I'll be able to say, look, I've got
pay me $1,000 for this piece of cardboard. I
don't think it would go all the way that high, but it'll definitely
we can
it'll
dream.
Definitely creep back up to that original asking price of maybe the $400 or $500 range.
And that's your case right there.
Exactly. So, well, even just the 3.
But do you think Tangoland, with shocks being in there as well, do you think they're going to hold up as well? Or once they rotate out of standard, is there a place for them post-standard rotation? I've been using my Cinder Glades as a poor man's replacement for my Stomping Grounds, and they work fantastic in my modern deck.
Right.
But do you think there's a place for them?
It's not a bad card.
There's just something better.
There is just something better. It's the one problem with it that I could see it not being used over check lands, which are the for example,
it's the Dragon Skull Summit.
Dragon Skull Summit is first one came to mind. Sun Petal Grove,
Rootbound Glade
Craig,
or something like that.
Sun Petal Grove. The ones that it comes in untapped if you control one of the 2 lands that it taps for. It's the problem is not many modern or legacy extended format decks play basic lands, and if you want them to come in untapped, you need to have at least 2, which means unless you're playing some crazy card that allows you to play multiple lands a turn, it's not coming out untapped. Yeah, it's not coming out untapped until at least turn 3.
Right. And that's the game to play.
You're pretty much dead at that point if you're playing any other format.
Playing serious competitive, yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna hold their value after standard. We'll definitely have to see what else comes. But for right now, it's definitely with the way that they've slowed down the format. Getting rid of Elvish Mystic, has really,
Huge
surprisingly
change that I've seen in green decks with getting
slowed
rid
down.
of
But
the one-drop Mana Dork.
and now the turn 1 play isn't so much turn 1 Temple Scry. It's now
Right.
turn 1 shock into a and fetch into a. I mean, turn
into a
1
Tango land.
fetch into a battle land.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. All right. So let's move on. Next topic. This set coming from. It was very interesting. I've been talking to people, and they're like, it's kind of weird that we go back to Zendikar after this huge beginner block that was Magic Origins, because Wizards was just going so hard on advertisement and giving away the free beginner decks to people at LGSs and, really trying to get a new crowd. It was very interesting that they then went into this not immensely complicated, but requires a bit more thought to play set with Devoid and all these Eldrazi. Do you think that the reception to this set above the crowd is good? Have you been seeing people saying, yeah, I really enjoy playing in this, as opposed to Origins, it was just one color cards and such?
Well, Origins was kind of like a last hurrah because
for the core sets,
the core sets, and the R&D department said that hey, if this is going to be the last one, let's make it a big one, make it a big set that we can kind of go back to the roots and start from the beginning. And I feel like another reason why they came out with Origins is I feel like they're trying to tighten the lore a little bit more closely to
make the Vorthos happy.
To the actual card game, because it was spread all the way around. There's all these different planes and stuff, and so now they're kind of trying to say, how can we tie the lore now closer to the actual storyline? And so I think that's another reason. I know we had talked about this in one of our other previous quickies, but I think that's the reason why they decided that Gideon is now going to be from Theros. They just had this set, from Theros, where they said, okay, I know Kiora went there to try and search for, Kraken and things like that.
And Elspeth, turns out she's from here.
Stole the Bind of Thassa to come back and fight the Eldrazi.
Love that woman.
And but they're like, Gideon's gonna be a driving factor, as the the law enforcement of the multiverse.
yeah.
That's
the RoboCop of
pretty much what he is. So anyway, I think that's kind of one of the reasons they're like, we need a way to tie in these planes, especially these planeswalkers, and we're gonna see that in the next set, the Oathsworn. Where we're going to see the planeswalkers really come together, and I think that's partly another reason why they did the Origins, is they wanted to just kind of knit the lore a little bit more tight into the actual card game. But as far as Zendikar is concerned, I know there was a lot of people. I mean, people have mixed reviews. A lot of people like exploring new planes and seeing new places, but at the same time, they do like returning to that. I know Return to Ravnica got a really huge reception.
Not so much Dragon's Maze, but everything else was
But
fantastic.
everything else was good. So I know there was a lot of people that were wanting to return to Zendikar. Not just for the full art lands, but just for the set itself, the mechanics.
Still, can I say though, it is really nice to draft with full art lands.
It really is.
It's fantastic.
It's really nice. And that was the thing is, because I haven't been in the game for too long, maybe 2 or 3 years at most. And that was one of the things is, looking through these older cards, just, especially like the sets, it's like, damn, if only, like, I really, really, really wish I was able to, play when Emrakul was in standard, things like that.
Oh, God,
and so these return sets are really good for those players that, can kind of jump in midway and, still get a taste.
The good old days.
The good old days. And so, I think it's still a little early to see. I know there's a lot of hype, but we'll have to see exactly. Because I know we'll just have to see.
We're just gonna have to wait for the Pro Tour yet again to
that's
the meta.
That's what it is. You wait.
The meta of happiness.
Not the meta, just the new Abzan deck.
Yeah, wait till that comes out. Hangerback Walker riding a Siege Rhino, man, or the other way around.
Yeah.
Hangerback Walker that makes Siege Rhinos. Call them mini rhinos.
That's that.
No Tap comment. Them for mana.
No comment.
Alrighty. Let's see. We've got some information here. November 6th is when the holiday box is going to be released. Your special holiday box promo is going to be Scythe Leopard. That's that 1-drop landfall.
Yeah, 1-drop, 1/1. When a land comes into play, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn.
Yep. It's going to be 5 packs in there, which I think has been the standard for a while, is 5 packs. 20 basic non-full art lands from Zendikar, and the dividers and sticker sets, so you can arrange all your cards. It'll store 2,000 Cards pretty standard, nothing really changing about the holiday set. Your game day is going to be October 24th through the 25th, so go pressure your LGS to find out when they're having theirs. We're going to be releasing a game day video. I can't wait for it. It's going to be fun. Going to show all the jubilation and magic planeswalking activities that we get up to on game day. Get hype. Can you say game day, get hype right into the mic for you, Trent?
Game day, get hyped.
Yeah, that's how we roll. Stasis Snare, that's that Flash
O-ring.
Flash O-ring, that's going to be your entry card that you get. The top 8 is going to be the Radiant Flames, which is the burn spell. Every other color you cast for it, it deals damage. It's okay.
It's not a bad card.
It's no lightning strike.
There's certainly been better top 8 promos like Languish from Origins and Utter End
from Cons. Yeah, those were fantastic.
But it's it looks nice. I've seen pictures.
But the art looks very nice. I'll probably put up some art of what the cards look like while we have just been talking about them. And then Drana. She's leading some troops, sexy championship mat.
I want that play mat.
Man, don't we all? We all want to be the champion and have the mat and have.
I'll just pay I'll pay somebody.
Jeez, yeah. How much you want that mat for? $40. Deal. Alrighty. Are we good here, Trent?
I believe we are.
You good? Okay, he's giving me a weird eye look. So we have been enjoying Battle for Zendikar. As you can see with all the videos we've been putting out lately. Trent's still mad at me about some of them. Going to be bringing you some more, of course, hoping to really get into full production here. Hopefully a new video about that to where we can actually establish Packers Gaming as a channel. We hope you all will stick around. I don't normally ask for you to subscribe if you're listening this far, but if you've made it this far, I'd really appreciate, leaving us a comment, a like, a dislike. Let me know how you feel about the video. Leave us a subscribe to stick around. So, have a good one, Trent.
Yeah, really nothing else to report. Just watch out for future videos. I'm probably going to have some pretty janky brews coming out.
Oh, yeah, Trent's Brews. Proud to announce that. Trent will be putting some brew videos out shortly.
So be ready for that. I'm going to take them to some tournaments, and we'll see how they do.
See how they do. Alrighty. As always, have a good one.